What if I told you that scientists just invented a nasal spray? Two small doses, and your memory gets sharper for months. What if I told you that a species scientists declared completely extinct came back to life this year? And what if I told you that right now, doctors are growing human tissue in laboratories that could one day mean nobody ever needs an organ transplant again? This is not science fiction. This is happening right now in 2026. And today, we are going to talk about all of it in real, natural English. Stay with us.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Audiolingo English, the podcast where the real world meets real English. I am Alex.
And I am Emma. And oh my goodness, today's episode is one of my absolute favorites that we have ever recorded. Because today we are talking about some of the most genuinely exciting, hopeful, almost unbelievable things happening on this planet right now.
Real stories, real science, real breakthroughs that are changing what it means to be human in 2026.
And before we dive in, if you are brand new here, welcome. You have found the right place. We talk about the world, we laugh a little, we teach you English the way it actually sounds between real people. So if this feels good to you already, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let us get into today's stories.
Okay, Emma, I need to start with the one that genuinely made my jaw drop this week.
Okay, go. I am ready.
So researchers at Texas A&M University, this just came out. They developed a nasal spray. You just spray it in your nose, 2 doses, and in tests, it actually reversed signs of brain aging. Memory improved. Cognitive function, the ability to think clearly and process information, improved. And the effects lasted for months.
Alex, a nasal spray for your brain?
A nasal spray for your brain. And the way it works is fascinating. As we get older, the brain experiences something called neuroinflammation, which is basically inflammation, swelling inside the brain. And this spray calms that inflammation down and restores the brain's energy systems.
This is the kind of story that makes you feel like you are living in the future.
And researchers are saying this could one day be used to treat dementia and Alzheimer's disease, conditions that affect millions of families around the world. Imagine what that would mean. Imagine someone getting their memory back.
That is emotional. I genuinely got a little emotional reading about that this week because we all know someone, a grandparent, an older neighbor who is struggling with memory loss. And the idea that a simple spray could help them?
It changes everything. And here's what I want our listeners to notice about this story. The vocabulary is so useful for current affairs discussions. Neuroinflammation, cognitive function, breakthrough, clinical trials, which means tests on humans to prove the treatment is safe and effective. These are words you'll hear constantly in news discussions about science and medicine.
Write those down, everyone. Neuroinflammation, cognitive function, breakthrough, clinical trials. You will sound incredibly informed using those words.
Now, Emma, you mentioned something before we started recording that absolutely blew my mind. Tell them the animal story.
Oh, yes. Okay. So you know how sometimes scientists declare an animal species extinct in the wild? Like gone, no longer existing outside of a zoo or a protected facility.
Which is heartbreaking when it happens.
So heartbreaking. But here's the thing. This year in Australia, a species called the eastern barred bandicoot, which had been declared extinct in the wild, has been successfully reintroduced into protected habitats. Scientists bred them carefully, created safe environments, and released them. And they are surviving and thriving.
The eastern barred bandicoot. I love that name.
It is a beautiful little animal, and the reason the story matters beyond just being wonderful is because it proves something really important, that extinction is not always permanent, that with the right science, the right care, and the right commitment, we can bring species back.
And that's happening more and more. Conservation science, the study of protecting nature and wildlife, has advanced so dramatically in the last decade.
And there's another story from India that is so creative, it almost sounds like a movie. In Hindu temples across India, where traditionally live elephants were used in ceremonies and festivals, they're now introducing robotic elephants, 11 feet tall, completely lifelike. They can flap their ears, move their tails, even spray water.
Wait, robotic elephants that spray water?
That spray water. And the idea is to preserve the cultural tradition of having elephants in ceremonies while also protecting real elephants from captivity and poor welfare conditions. It's one of the most imaginative solutions I've ever heard of.
I love that. It's this beautiful intersection of technology and culture and compassion.
That word, intersection, is so useful in English. When two things meet and influence each other, we call it an intersection. The intersection of technology and tradition, the intersection of science and culture.
Okay, so we've got brain sprays, bandicoots coming back from extinction, robotic elephants, and Emma, I want to talk about the medical story that I think is the biggest of them all.
The cartilage one?
The cartilage one. So scientists at Stanford Medicine, one of the top research universities in the world, discovered something extraordinary about knee cartilage. Cartilage is the soft, cushioned tissue in your joints that allows you to move without pain. As we get older, it deteriorates, and once it's gone, you need surgery, knee replacement surgery, which is a major operation.
Millions of people have this surgery every year.
Millions. But researchers found that there's a protein in the body called 15-PDH, which naturally increases as we get older. And what this protein does is it actively suppresses the body's ability to repair itself. It basically turns off your natural healing.
So your own body is working against you?
Your own body is working against you. And here's the incredible part. When scientists blocked that protein in tests, cartilage started regenerating, growing back. And they actually took cartilage samples from patients who were already in surgery for knee replacements, people whose cartilage was completely gone. And when they exposed those samples to the treatment, new tissue started growing.
New tissue from cartilage that was already destroyed.
Already destroyed. If this works in full human trials, it could mean that knee and hip replacement surgeries, which are among the most common major surgeries in the world, might one day not be necessary.
Alex, I think I need a moment. That's one of those discoveries where you have to sit down.
It really is. And the vocabulary here is regenerating, suppressing, clinical trials, and protein. These are words that come up every single week in health and science news. If you understand those words, you can follow any medical story in the English-speaking world.
And that's exactly why we love talking about science stories on the show, because the vocabulary is so transferable. You learn it once, and suddenly you can understand BBC News, CNN, science podcasts, medical articles. All of it opens up.
It's like getting a key to a whole new room of the English language.
I love that. A key to a new room. Okay, I want to talk about one more story before we wrap up, and this one is about cities, because I think the way cities are changing right now is so fascinating.
Tell me, which city?
Helsinki, the capital of Finland. So Helsinki just opened its longest bridge dedicated entirely to pedestrians, cyclists, and trams. No cars. None. Just people walking, cycling, and low-emission public transport.
And for our listeners who may not know, pedestrian means a person who is walking. A pedestrian bridge is a bridge just for walking.
Exactly. And this is part of a much bigger movement happening in cities around the world. The idea that you design a city for people, not for cars. Quieter streets, cleaner air, more connection between neighborhoods.
And Helsinki is one of the leading cities in the world for this kind of thinking. They consistently rank as one of the happiest, most livable cities on Earth.
And there's research, real scientific research, suggesting that when people walk more, cycle more, spend more time outdoors, their mental health improves significantly. So the design of your city can literally affect how happy you are.
That is such a powerful idea. Your environment shapes your well-being.
Your environment shapes your well-being. That's your quote of the day, everyone.
We should put that on a poster. Okay, before we close out today, let's do a quick vocabulary recap because our listeners deserve to walk away with something they can use immediately.
Love it. Go.
Number 1, neuroinflammation. Inflammation inside the brain connected to aging and memory loss.
Number 2, cognitive function. Your brain's ability to think, learn, remember, and process information.
Number 3, regenerating, growing back, recovering naturally. We can also say regeneration as the noun.
Number 4, clinical trials. Controlled scientific tests on humans to check if a new treatment is safe and effective.
Number 5, intersection. When two things come together and influence each other. The intersection of technology and culture.
Number 6, pedestrian. A person who is walking. A pedestrian street, a pedestrian bridge, designed for people on foot.
And bonus word, conservation. The work of protecting nature, animals, and natural environments.
Beautiful. 7 words, all useful, all from stories happening right now in the real world.
And you know what I love about today's episode? Every single story we talked about is about humans solving problems, humans getting creative, humans choosing to do something better than what came before.
That's the theme, isn't it? The brain spray solving the problem of aging and memory, the bandicoot solving the problem of extinction, the robotic elephant solving the problem of animal welfare while respecting culture, the cartilage discovery solving the problem of pain and lost mobility, Helsinki's bridge solving the problem of cities being built for cars instead of people.
Problem, solution, progress. That's the story of 2026 when you look past the headlines.
And that's also the story of every English learner we know. You identified a problem, I cannot speak English confidently. You found a solution, Audiolingo English, and you're making progress every single episode.
Which is why we are so grateful you're here, genuinely. This community means everything to us.
Okay, you beautiful people, that's our episode for today. If it brought you something, a new word, a new